कमलायताक्षौ विश्वम्भरद्विजवरो युगधर्मपालौ वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरौ करुणावतारौ जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद वंदे गुरून् ईशभक्तान् ईशानीशवतारकान् तत्प्रकाशां तत्शक्ति कृष्ण चैतन्य संज्ञकम् ग्रंथेरारंभकोरि मंगलाचरण गुरु वैष्णव भगवान तीनेर स्मरण हय विघ्न विनाशन अनायास सफलय वांछित पुराण नम ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देश तारिणे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas, thank you so much for taking your most valuable time to read, hear, and study Srimad Bhagavatam. To to study Chaitanya Charitamrita with this Chaitanya Bhagavat, the Lila and the pastimes and the philosophy in the life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, given by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Mahasaya. So we have read till text number 35 in the last session. We were talking about how anyone who hears Chaitanya Bhagavat, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, Krishna Lila Bhagavat kahe Veda Vyas Chaitanya Lila Vyasa Vrindavan Das. The Vyasadeva of Chaitanya Lila is Vrindavan Das Thakur. You see, a great quality of non-envy is coming. Some author appreciating other author's book, and that too in the same genre, is very rare, right? Because Krishna Kaviraj Goswami is non-envious. He's saying Vrindavan Das Koile Chaitanya Mangal Yaharas Shravana Nashi Sarv Amangal. जिसके श्रवण से सब अमंगल नाश हो जाता है. That means who hears Chaitanya Leela given by Vrindavan Das Thakur, of course, he won't say, if you read this Chaitanya Charitamrita, then all amangal will go, because that's humility. But we all know that whether we read Chaitanya Mangal, Chaitanya Bhagavat, or Chaitanya Charitamrita, all these three books are nothing but the wonderful pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and one's amangal, one's inauspiciousness, misfortune will be destroyed. So let's study from the next verse, text 36. Chaitanya Nitayri Yate Janiya Mahima Yate Jani Krishna Bhakti Siddhante Rasima. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. By reading Sri Chaitanya Mangal, one can understand all the glories and truths of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda and come to the ultimate conclusion of devotional service to Lord Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam is the authoritative reference book from which to understand devotional service, but because it is very elaborate, few men can understand its purport. Srimad Bhagavatam is the original commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, which is called Nyaya Prasthana. It was written to enable one to understand the absolute truth through the infallible logic and argument, and therefore its natural commentary, Srimad Bhagavatam, is extremely elaborate. Professional reciters have created the impression that Srimad Bhagavatam deals only with Krishna's Rasa Leela, although Krishna's Rasalila is described only in the chapters 29 through 33 of the 10th canto. They have, in this way, presented Krishna to the Western world as a great woman hunter, and therefore we sometimes have to deal with such misconceptions in preaching. Another difficulty in understanding Srimad Bhagavatam is that the professional reciters have introduced the Bhagavad Sapta, or 70 readings of the Bhagavatam. They want to finish Srimad Bhagavatam in a week, although it is so sublime that even one verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, if properly explained, cannot be completed in the 3 months. Under these circumstances, it is a great aid for the common man to read Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur's Chaitanya Bhagavat. For thus, he can actually understand devotional service, Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, and Nityananda. Srila Rupa Goswami has said, Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidhim Vina Ekantaki Harir Bhaktir Utpativa Kalpate. Devotional service to the Lord that ignores the authorized Vedic literatures, the Upanishads, Puranas, Narada Pancharatra, etc., is simply an unnecessary disturbance in the society. Due to misunderstanding Srimad Bhagavatam, people are misled regarding the signs of Krishna. However, by reading Srila Vrindavan Das's Thakur's book, one can very easily understand this science. Hare Krishna. A lot of interesting, wonderful points here. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who's the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, is glorifying another author, Vrindavan Das Thakur's book. Then by reading this book, by understanding this book, it is Chaitanya Mangal, or also known as Chaitanya Bhagavat, one can understand about the Sima, one can understand about the Siddhanta. What is Krishna Bhakti? Who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Who is Nityananda Prabhu? And then come to the conclusion that the devotional service to Lord Krishna is the ultimate conclusion. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, this is the ultimate conclusion, Bhakti. What to speak of the conclusion, Srila Prabhupada, a great soul like Prabhupada, actually in every verse he gives that conclusion that one should take shelter of Krishna, and that is the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita, that is the conclusion of all the Shastras. Bhaktya mam abhijanati, manmana bhavmad bhakto, yo me bhaktya prayachati. All the verses, bhakti is the center. So, in short, one should not try to artificially jump to 10th canto, these Rasa Panchadhyaya. One can misunderstand Krishna and think as, oh, he's just a lusty boy, a lusty person running behind women, dancing with women. And many people often conclude that falsely. Rather, one can study. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur spoke on the first verse, the first line of the first verse, the first canto, the first chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam for 1 month. That is the extent, as Prabhupada is saying, cannot be completed in 3 months. One verse of Bhagavatam, so sublime. So the goal is not to get it done, right? It's not some journey we have to get done with reading Bhagavatam, get done with reading Bhagavad Gita. The essence is it's a process, it's a journey, and it's purifying. The more we read, the more we relish, the more we understand, the more we follow. And if one ignores that, that it lead to a path. So, in short, the glories of the scriptures are mentioned here. Any other thoughts anyone has? Comments? Next verse, anyone would like to read? Please. Anyone in a position?
I can
Yes.
read, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you. Bhagavate Yatha Bhakti Siddha Siddhantera Sara Likhiya Chena Inha Jani Kariya Budhara. Translation: in Sri Chaitanya Mangala, later known as Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata, Vrindavan Das Thakur has given the conclusion and essence of devotional service by quoting the authoritative statements of Srimad Bhagavatam. So here it is stated that Chaitanya Mangal, it has given beautifully about the devotional service of the Lord and how we have to be engaged in serving the Lord by the 9 devotional processes. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hital Mataji, thank you for joining.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
California?
No, I am from Maryland.
Maryland. Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you so much for joining. So, thank you, Shamakarna Mataji, for reading this Chaitanya Charitamrita and or Chaitanya Bhagavatam. No, I did a quick search. Maybe it's important to see this, and this is where AI can be sometimes quite helpful. In the BBT edition of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, 393 verses are directly quoted from the Srimad Bhagavatam. So in short, there are many important verses in Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Mangal, Chaitanya Bhagavat from the other authorized scriptures like Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Bhagavad Gita, Vedagdha Madhav, Lalita Madhav, Brahma Samhita, Padma Puran, Vishnu Puran, Govinda Lila Amrit. So this is like the nectar coming from the realized souls. And realized souls, they don't just speak without Shastra. So this is an important, don't quote this number, but just a good guesstimate, about 400 verses. Many important verses from Gita are quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, and that's exactly what is mentioned here as well. In Chaitanya Mangal, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has given the conclusion in the essence of devotional service by quoting the authoritative statements of Srimad Bhagavatam. Now he won't say, I have also done the same. Actually, he has done the same, but this is the humility of the author, right? Non-assuming nature. In short, great souls, and it's a great lesson for us also, whenever we are speaking or writing or communicating in spiritual circles, we must quote the authoritative statements of the Shastra, Gita, Bhagavatam, etc. Without that, it lacks substance. Prabhupada really wanted all of his devotees and grand devotees and upcoming generation to become like lawyers, and lawyers quote. For example, Prabhupada really wanted the devotees to memorize scriptures. And I see that, those who memorize verses, it has so many benefits. So many benefits. I will not go into detail. But even what to speak of spiritual benefits, even these days, material benefits like the memory will stay strong, one's cognition, logical reasoning abilities, dementia, all those things, because we don't kind of put strain in on our neural networks to try to remember, how will they grow? Anything when we go outside comfort zone, it grows. Whether it's muscles, whether it's the neural networks, whether it's anything. One just lying down on the bed, one will not develop good health. Similarly, when we don't try to exercise our brain, oh, what was that verse which talks about bhakti in the Bhagavad Gita? The famous prayer of Lord Brahma in the 10th canto? Oh, what was Kunti Maharani's prayer? So we should try to remember some prayers, some verses. If not every verse, but at least important, start with important 10 verses from Gita, important 20 verses from Gita, important 10, 20 verses from the Bhagavatam. That's going to be very helpful in so many ways. And especially if you're sharing Krishna consciousness with others, which is our birthright and duty, it certainly helps. Quoting the authoritative statements of the Bhagavatam, Gita, etc. Any other thoughts, comments here, questions? Next verse. Yes, Hital Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, sir. Prabhuji. Test 38. Chaitanya Mangala Suneyadi Prasandi Yavana Seha Mahavaishnava Haya Tatakshana. Synonyms. I mean, do I have to speak
Yeah.
synonyms?
No, we'll go to the translation.
Translation. If even a great atheist hears Sri Chaitanya Mangala, he immediately becomes a great devotee.
Thank you. Thank you so much for reading this nice verse. Chaitanya Mangala Shune Ye Pashandit Yavana Sneha, Seha Mahavaishnava. Mahavaishnava. चाहे कोई पाषंडी हो, पाषंडी is, who is a पाषंडी? In Hindi बोलते हैं पाखंडी, right? Atheist, duplicitous, cheater, Yavana, non-believer. In the Vedic culture, atheistic, say Mahavaishnava. Mahavaishnava ban jayega. Great devotee. This is the power of reading and hearing bona fide scriptures. Tat shana, not that moment. Usi shana. Immediately. This is the power of reading, hearing bona fide scriptures from bona fide sources and pure devotees. This is what Krishna's Das Kaviraj Goswami is saying. If one hears the Chaitanya Mangal from which is the work of Vrindavan Das Thakur, this is going to be the impact. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya. Even Gita we say that. Maline mochanam pumsam jalasnana dine dine sakrit Gitamrita snana sansara malanashanam. One who takes bath in the Nitirian Ganges water of the Gita, amal nashanam, he'll become amal. One who chants the holy name, reads the Gita, hears the Purana scriptures, Mahavaishnava. Example? Any examples? In the past, think about so many devotees who were not so great in the past, like Valmiki and Mrigari and so many other people who had a bad past, but they became great Maha Vaishnava. Even when Prabhupada came to the West, people were what? They were following Shandi and Yavana lifestyle, atheistic culture, anti-Vedic culture, but they became Maha Vaishnava. Is it not? This is the power of Sadhu Sangha. This is the power of Shravanam from the right source, from the right devotees. Tatshana. Yes, Manjula, you want to read this verse?
Hare Krishna. Text 39. मनुष्य रचिते नारे ऐछि ग्रंथ धन्य वृंदावन दास मुखे वक्ता श्री चैतन्य The subject matter of this book is so sublime that it appears that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has personally spoken through the writings of Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur. Purport. Srila Sanatan Goswami has written in his Hari Bhakti Vilas, Avaishnavam Mukhodgirnam Bhutam Hari Kathamritam Shravanam Naiva Kartavyam Sarpochishtam Yathapaya. One should not hear anything about Krishna from a non-Vaishnav. Milk touched by the lips of a serpent has poisonous effects. Similarly, talks about Krishna given by a non-Vaishnav are also poisonous. Transcendental literature that strictly follows the Vedic principles and the conclusion of the Puranas and Panchratrik Vidhi can be written only by a pure devotee. It is not possible for a common man to write books on bhakti, for his writings will not be effective. He may be a very great scholar and may be expert in presenting literature in flowery language, but this is not at all helpful in understanding transcendental literature. Even if transcendental literature is written in faulty language, it is acceptable if it is written by a devotee, whereas so-called transcendental literature written by a mundane scholar, even if it is a very highly polished literary presentation, cannot be accepted. The secret in a devotee's writing is that when he writes about the pastimes of the Lord helps him. He does not write alone. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita 10:10, Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayanti te. Since the devotee writes in service to the Lord from within gives him so much intelligence that he sits down near the Lord and goes on writing books. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami confirms that what Vrindavan Das Thakur wrote was actually spoken by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he simply repeated it. The same holds true for Caitanya Charitamrita. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wrote Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita in his old age, in an invalid condition. But it is such a sublime literature that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj used to say, the time will come when the people of the world will learn Bengali to read Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. We are trying to present Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita in English and do not know how successful it will be. But if one reads the original Chaitanya Charitamrita in Bengali, he will relish increasing ecstasy in devotional service. I really like the point that secret in devotee's writing is that when he writes about the pastimes of the Lord helps him. He does not write alone. So as long as the intention is to glorify the Lord and his devotees, the Lord will be helping the devotee to write about his glories. Otherwise, it's not possible. Example of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami writing in a very advanced age when his hands were shaking and his vision was maybe compromised. He wrote such a humongous literature about Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. And also Srila Prabhupada, he was also in advanced age, always traveling, managing new devotees. He used to wake up in odd hours, late night. He would be writing all these purports. And many times Prabhupada said that Krishna is writing these purports. He's dictating to me whatever I'm writing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I was just thinking of the same anecdote from Prabhupada's life, and how he was, so eager to hear and reread and reread his own purports. And someone asked, like, generally an author would not want to, read his own writings maybe like 5 times, because it's like dry, like, okay, like what else, right? I know I've written this. But then someone asked, and Prabhupada said, actually, Krishna comes and these are Krishna's words. These are not my words. And we have practically seen that in so many other great souls also. One famous personality is who wrote the Shavdar Stotra, and then Krishna,
Joyful.
Jayadev Goswami. That famous pastime, that how Krishna personally came and completed the sentence, that Krishna comes and holds the lotus feet of Radharani. He was a little hesitant, and then you may have heard this story or seen a drama that Krishna, that he Jadev went to, he said, told Padmavati, oh, I'm going to take bath and come and eat lunch after that. So he had this thought that Krishna holding the feet of Radharani seems too much. Should I write it? Should I not write it? Is it my speculation? He said, okay, I'll sit on that thought and see later. And he said, okay, Padmavati, I'll be back soon. You can arrange the lunch in the meantime. He left 5 minutes back. Jayadev Goswami came back. Same dress, same everything. And he said, Padmavati, is the lunch ready? Said, oh, just give me a few minutes. The lunch will be ready. And then she served and said, okay, you take your time. I'm going to write something in the meantime. So Jayadev Goswami completed that writing, had lunch, and left. And then Jayadev Goswami came again. He said, Padmavati, I'm back after taking bath in the river. Is the lunch ready? He said, what? So the person, the Jayadev Goswami who had come was none other than Krishna himself, Govinda himself. So Krishna speaks through the mouth of great souls. This is not an exaggeration. Guru is walking God, talking God. Krishna eats through the mouth of great souls. Krishna, engages us in his devotional service through the teachings and lives and instructions of the great souls. Great souls know the heart of the Supreme Lord. Tomara Hide Govinda Vishram. Oh, Vaishnava Thakur. So the pure devotees, they don't speak what, here say, there say, I feel, he feels, she feels, because their only purpose in life is to live, teach, and serve Krishna, and share Krishna consciousness with others. They are beyond, they are living in this world, but they're not of this world. So such great souls, when they write, it's not just ordinary writing. As Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying here, Krishna or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally spoke through the writings of Vrindavan Das Thakur. Now, this is not an exaggeration. Krishna speaks through the mouth of great souls. So we must read this. Sometimes people say, well, this is just some ordinary human writing an ordinary book. No, sorry, this is not some ordinary novel or ordinary book. This is a very transcendental subject coming through the mouth of the Supreme Lord Himself. So we should be careful and not hear spiritual subjects from any Tom, Dick, Harry. In this age of YouTube and social media and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and other million things, any Tom, Dick, Harry can make any video, any article, any book. It's not hard. But it will lack the substance. So, in short, we don't need to go, as some devotees say, spiritual shopping. These days, we love to shop, and that same propensity goes for spiritual life also. Spiritual shopping, window shopping, spiritual shopping, just have, a selected few devotees who are in the bona fide parampara in our ISKCON family, whom you really trust, whom you really get nourishment from, and hear from them. That should definitely include Srila Prabhupada. That should definitely include your initiating spiritual master. The core, right? The main meal should be that, and some side meal. You can take some other wonderful souls also who nourish you, who you feel inspired. But don't compromise the main meal with other things. Any thoughts, comments? And what to speak of going outside ISKCON and hearing this, hearing that? Yeah, there may be great souls outside ISKCON also, but we have limited time, energy. Our mood, our mission, our vision is different. And we have, if one is already, so happy and joyful by eating the homemade wonderful cuisines made by their wife, mother, sister, or themselves, will they be craving for, oh, what's the seven-star hotel downtown is making? No, they won't be craving for that. Oh, no matter how tempting it may be, no matter if there is a big queue outside that restaurant, but I'm so full. I don't care what's cooking in that restaurant. I am very happy and nourished by what's being cooked at home. That's the mood of a devotee. Any thoughts, comments here? Let's read the next verse, text number 40. Anyone was not read?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I can read.
Yes, Mata.
वृंदावन दासा पदे कोटि नमस्कारा आईचे ग्रंथा करी तहो तारीले samsara. Translation: I offer millions of obeisances unto the lotus feet of Vrindavan Das Thakur. No one else could write such a wonderful book for the deliverance of all fallen souls. Back to you, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
You see, last like almost 7-8 verses, Krishnadas Das Kaviraj Goswami has been doing one thing. And what is that one thing?
He's offering obeisances, Prabhuji.
Like glorifying, basically.
Glorifying, yes.
Glorifying, respecting, talking about the greatness about Vrindavan Das Thakur and his book Chaitanya Mangal or Chaitanya Bhagavat. And there are other few more verses. Attention to detail is a symptom of love. He's not saying, oh, that book is great, please read it. No. So many ways. Spoken by none other than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Anyone who reads this, all his, Papa will be gone. He'll become Mahabhagavat. He'll become great devotee. This is, only a genuine, non-envious person who is coming from a place of abundance, not from a place of insecurity. Those who are insecure cannot glorify others from the heart. Because they feel like, यार इसके बारे में बोले जा रहे मेरे बारे में कब बोले? Why is he just glorifying that? Why is he not glorifying my work? But the great souls are there, so they're coming from a space of abundance, not from a space of insecurity or shallowness. Their joy is in glorifying others. I heard from one time Amarendra Prabhu that puja and stuti हमेशा कुंवारी रह जाती है. Puja and stuti seem like the names of two girls. They are always, what do you say, bachelors. Why? Those who are running after them, hey, marry me. I have so many good qualities. मेरी पूजा करो, मेरी स्तुति करो, glorify me. I am great. मेरी पूजा करो. Aarti utaro, full chadao. Puja and Stuti don't want to glorify them because they are not the right candidates and the right recipients. They may get sometimes respect, sometimes glorification, but that will be not out of love, but it will be out of fear, like Dhritarashtra or Duryodhana or some so-called head of the state, head of the country, etc. Like, love me or I'll shoot you. No. Love, respect cannot be forced. And the ones who actually deserved puja and stuti, that means respect and glorification, they are running away from it. Therefore, puja and stuti, they remain bachelors only. So, in short, the idea is when we are glorifying others, we should glorify, this is Mahaprabhu who said this, we should glorify as if we have 5 mouths. I want to share that verse with all of you. Glorify others as if we have 5 mouths. In short, one should pay attention to detail and really from the heart, not for false, gains, or if I glorify him, maybe he'll help me to get a job, or if I glorify him, maybe he'll give me a nice position, or if I glorify him, he'll glorify me. No. And when others glorify, Mahaprabhu will say, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. That means he won't be in a mood or, to hear. He would run. So, this is something great we can see from Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's example. No one could write such a wonderful book. Now, one author speaking this about the other author means a lot. Next verse, anyone?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can try Prabhu.
Yes.
Next 41. नारायणी चैतन्येर उच्छिष्ट भाजन तांड्रगर्भे जन्मेल श्रीधास वृंदावन. Translation by Putpi Bhaktivedanta Samshrila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Narayani eternally eats the remnants of the food of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakura was born of her own. In text 43 of the Garga Gaura Ganodaya Deepika, a book written by Kavikarna Purna that describes all the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and who they previously were, there is the following statement regarding Narayani. Ambikaya Swachayashin Namna Srila Kilimbika Krishnotisham Prabhunjana Seyam Narayani Mata. When Lord Krishna was a child, he was nursed by a woman named Ambika, who had a younger sister named Kilimbika. During the time of Lord Chaitanya's incarnation, the same Kilimbika used to eat the remnants of food left by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That Kilimbika was Narayani, who was a niece of Srivas Thakur. Later on, when she grew up and married, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakura was born from her womb. A devotee of Lord Krishna is celebrated in terms of devotional service rendered to the Lord. Thus, we know Srila Vrindavan Das Thakura as the son of Narayani. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur notes in this connection that there is no reference to his paternal ancestry because there is no need to understand it. Prabhuji, I'm hearing this first time. Can you please explain? I want to hear.
Even I have not heard this about it, Prabhuji.
That's why we're all reading. Chaitanya Charitamrita. Nice. So I'm opening up a presentation so that we can capture. Yeah. Mm. I'll just use this. Okay, so let's understand a little bit. Who are we talking about primarily in these verses from last 10 verses approximately? Who's been glorified here? Srila, Shri, Vrindavan Das Thakur.
Vrindavan Das Thakur.
Who is the author of
Caitanya Bhagavat.
Caitanya
Bhagavat.
Bhagavat? He is the Vyasadeva of
Vyasa.
Chaitanya
Vyasadeva.
Lila, right? Now, this book was initially known as Chaitanya Mangala,
By
but
Lochan Das Thakur. Is it all correct? Correct, Prabhuji?
in this book, which he wrote initially, was known as Chaitanya Mangal. But when he realized that Lochan Das Thakur has named his book Chaitanya Mangal, so he changed his book and called Chaitanya Bhagavat.
Bhagavat.
Now, in this verse, we understand about the mother. Who is his mother? Narayani. Narayani. And one thing which is mentioned about her, that she was taking the remnants of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what else we know about Narayani? She was the niece of Srivas Thakur. Who is Srivas Thakur? You all know that, right? Tell one thing about Srivas Thakur.
He was Radharani.
This is Radharani.
Oh, is it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to confirm that. I think that sounds correct. Srivas Thakur or Gadadhar Pandit?
Oh, Gadadhar Pandit. Oh, Gadadhar.
Yeah, Srivas was Narad Muni. Thank you.
Narad Muni. Thank you, Pataji.
So, Srivas Angan is the place where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to do the Sankirtan, night Sankirtan pastimes. Srivas Thakur is the place where is the personality who did like clap 3 times and he said, Lakshmi can become a beggar, but in your home there will never be any dearth. Mahaprabhu said that. And there are many, many such pastimes. So he was one of the Panch Tattvas, Srivas Thakur. Now, what else we know? There's reference of one book called Gaur Gano Desha Dipika, given by Kavi Karnapur. Karnapur, right? Check the spelling. Karnapura. So, what is this book primarily about? He connects who is in Krishna Lila, who was in Chaitanya Lila, the parallels. For example, give one example. Parallels in Chaitanya Lila and Krishna Lila, like the personalities, who became who.
Balaram also Nityananda Prabhu.
Balram, Nityananda, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna, okay. And every, like even the other, the parents, the friends, and everything is quite detailed mention. So now, from that same book, as mentioned in the purport here, that when Krishna was a child, he was nursed by a woman named Ambika. Okay. So Yashoda माता को assist कर रही थी एक nurse जिनका नाम था Ambika. And Ambika's sister was Kilimbika. Kilimbika. So this Kilimbika became Narayani. Make sense? And this Vrindavandas Thakur was the son of Narayani. Oh, sorry. Let me read this. So that Kilambika was Narayani, who was a niece of Srivas Thakur. So she was the niece of Srivas Thakur, this Kilambika Narayani. She used to eat remnants from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because a child can take, boy, girl, doesn't matter. Like a small child, like Srivas Thakur's wife, like children, like a 3-year-old, they may do sometimes silly things. They may, like even to sannyasis, they may go very close and, they may give flower, they may give a chocolate even, like then and the sannyasi, they'll say, okay, they won't mind, or they may even touch the feet and children are innocent. They can do. No one would mind that. So this Kilimbika would take the remnants. And then she grew up, she married, and from her womb was born Vrindavan Das Thakur, a great devotee of Lord Sri Krishna, the son of Narayani or Kalimbika.
Even Narada Muni in the previous Janma, he used to eat the remnants of the sannyasis who used to come to his house.
Bhaktivedantas, yes.
Yes.
Yes. So this is power of Vaishnavera Uchishta, Vaishnavera Jal, Vaishnavera Vaishnavera Padadhuli, Vaishnavera Jal, Vaishnavera Avashishta, Tina Mahabal. The Padadhuli, the Jal, and Avashishta, the remnants. Mahabal, very, very powerful. What to speak of the remnants of the Supreme Lord. And that too directly, being in that same house. So, again, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is glorifying Vrindavan Das Thakur in great length, breadth, and depth. Next verse. Anyone wants to read text 42? But 42, 43, we'll read and then we'll stop because these are the context changes from there. Anyone who has not read wants to read? तारकी अद्भुत चैतन्य चरित वर्णन यहर श्रवणे शुद्ध कोइला त्रिभुवन. What a wonderful description he has given of the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. Anyone in the three worlds who hears it is purified. Yes, Shama Karuna Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. अतएव भज लोक चैतन्य नित्यानंद कांडीबे संसार दुख भापे प्रेमानंद. Translation. I fervently appeal to everyone to adopt the method of devotional service given by Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda and thus be freed from the miseries of material existence and ultimately achieve the loving service of the Lord. Hare Krishna. So it's and he is insisting that always we have to do the devotional service, which is a very mantra which was given by Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, who was even the great criminals and the very criminal, like Jaga and Madai, they were purified. So in this Kali Yuga, so devotional service, that one will clear all the material existence. Ultimately, we will receive Krishna Prema.
Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Mataji, for this beautiful verse. This is the mood of a genuine devotee. They are appealing. Oh Loka, oh people, Bhaja, Ateva, this is the reason. If one worships Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Nityananda Prabhu, Sansara Dukha, Khandive, Khatam ho jayega, will vanquish. And what will one get? Pabe, Premananda. One is looking for Ananda. Ananda in the Jada world, in this material world, there is no real Ananda. But one gets to the spiritual Ananda or Premananda, that is real Ananda. Transcendental bliss of loving devotional service. That will make one really happy. That's the a real Ananda one is looking for. But we try to find it in material things, money, opposite gender, name, fame, cars, homes. One will not get. I was here in class, I shared it in the group also. If one thinks that no, he didn't get, she didn't get, people in the past, maybe they say they didn't get, but I will be an exception. Sorry, no one can be an exception because this world is called Dukhalayam Shashvatam. This is not a house of happiness. This is Dukhalayam. This is a house of misery. We have to go to Vaikuntha. That is where there is no Kuntha. That is the house of happiness. This is the house of misery. In house of misery, we can't get happiness. In house of happiness, there's no misery. So one has to choose carefully. Therefore, oh people, please take the devotional service. That is a request. This completes this section, so we'll continue from the next verse tomorrow. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samved Gaur Bhaktavind ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Prabhuji, which
Hare
chapter
Krishna.
we are reading, Prabhuji? Chaitanya Charitamrita?
Chapter